Alright, what's up guys, it's Case here. How you guys doing today? What's up? I'm back with another Kingdom Hearts 3 video for you guys today. This one's gonna be very interesting and very cool because it's something that not a lot of people have noticed yet. I just saw this pointed out on Twitter yesterday. It's a cool little Kingdom Hearts 3 Easter egg that you probably have not noticed before. And there's a cool little theory to go along with this as well that just like blows your mind, changes your entire perception of this whole thing right here. And I just want to let you guys know about it because I think it's really cool and I want to talk about it in the video. So yeah, let's get into it. Also, before we get into this, if you've not completed the game yet, not finished the game's story yet, huge spoiler alert, like humongous one right here. This is our big in-game spoilers right here. So if you've not gotten to that point yet, I recommend checking it out, complete that first, and then watch this video because we're talking about the big parts of the end game right here. So yeah, now let's get into it. So I'm guessing we're all familiar with the end game section of Kingdom Hearts 3 at this point. That takes place in the Keyblade Graveyard and Scarlet Kylum and stuff like that. So much stuff happens. Pretty much the big end to the Kingdom Hearts saga right there up to this point. It's pretty epic, pretty cool. Well, a Tumblr user by the name of Databoy Riku, love how he spelled that, pointed out this little Easter egg that is part of the final world and Riku's sacrifice that during that part of the game right there, and it's really crazy. This person compared the scene of Riku sacrificing himself to the Heartless Swarm to protect Sora to the intro animation for the final world and its logo and stuff like that. And he found some very interesting similarities between the two. First thing he noticed is that the animation of Riku walking up to the Heartless Swarm, you know, where his feet land, corresponds to where the ripples in the water happen in the final world animation. Here it is back to back right here, and you can obviously see where Riku's foot lands is where the ripples occur in the logo for the final world, which is cool in of itself, but there's more to it than that. So looking at the animation of Riku actually sacrificing himself to the Heartless Swarm, you can see there's a big blast around him when he tries to do that. And comparing that also to the other part of the intro for the final world logo, you can see that those intros are also very, very similar. You know, there's kind of a big, small little blast, but then it just explodes into more. So there's obviously a big correlation between the two right there. They're obviously related in some way. So that's a really cool Easter egg right there, I think, in of itself. You know, this kind of the repeat of the sacrifice of Riku in the intro animation for the final world. But to go along with this is a very amazing theory that was made by a Tumblr user by the name of Blowing Off Steam 2, and it's really, really interesting and kind of goes deep right here. So going back to the final world intro again, at the very end right there, you can see some structures and pillars rise out of the floor, and those are the things that you kind of fly around for the entirety of the final world section, you know, where you have to collect the pieces of your heart or soul, whatever that was. And those are obviously crystalline structures. If you could not tell, you know, there's pretty obvious by the look of them. You could just see that they're very crystalline and stuff like that. But this person right here claims that they are a certain type of crystal, salt. This person shows an image comparing some regular salt to the actual structures in the final world of the game. So you can see that there are two types of salt structures. One that kind of forms like a cube looking thing, and another one that's just kind of a clump of minerals. And you can see in that image down there, it kind of has both going on right there, which is hinting a lot towards this being like actual salt. And also comparing the structures of the small little cube things that you have to hang on to sometimes in the final world. Those are very similar to what salt looks like under a microscope. Well, why salt, you ask? What is the big deal about salt? What makes it so important in this case? Well, salt actually has some meaning throughout history that connects it to kind of Sora and Riku's situation. So according to this, salt has meant friendship throughout history. It mentions it in the Bible as a covenant of friendship, and there's some Arabic expressions that say, there's a salt between us and he has eaten my salt, to both represent the cementing of a friendship. The next significance of salt that it mentions is the fact that it's closely associated with promises and oaths as well. So according to this, throughout history, if you made a promise between salt, apparently it's a very, very strong promise. Like I mentioned here, it is an irrevocable pledge and promise of fidelity. Those who have taken salt together would rather die before they break their covenant. And if two men partake of salt together, they are sworn to protect each other. It describes it as a perpetual covenant, an eternal oath, if you could say. Hey, that word keeps on coming up, doesn't it? As we all know, oath is the name of the song Don't Think Twice over there in Japan. That's the name for it over there. So that's clearly having something to do with it right here. And the last significance of salt is of marriage, which of course, if it means an unbreakable bond, of course, it's been a big ritual in marriages. It means an unbreakable bond of love and stuff like that. Bringing it back to Kingdom Hearts right here, I'm just going to quote what this person said right here because I say it best. Why would Nomura use something so symbolically loaded and associated with Riku's sacrifice? His sacrifice demonstrated his incredible love for Sora, but what if it's more than that? Maybe, just maybe, Riku fulfilled a forgotten promise he had made long ago. A promise to protect Sora. or is remaking it. Remember this poem from the end of Riku's story in Chain of Memories? Beyond the path without you is a forgotten promise to keep. We may have walked side by side, but now we go back to back. And though our paths may not cross, all paths are connected somewhere. When I arrive at where you are, we may not appear to be as we were, but we'll make another promise to keep. The road, or a path, refers to the road to Dawn that Riku chose at the end of Chain of Memories. In Kingdom Hearts 3, Riku's way to Dawn Keyblade breaks, signifying that he has reached the end of the path, reached dawn. Literally, the break of dawn. And according to these poems, at the road's end, another promise is to be made. A promise for what exactly, I don't know. But if the symbolism of salt is any indication, it's an oath of love and devotion that can't be broken. So that's it. That's the theory. From what I can get from it, the basic gist of it is that the final world is a big representation of Riku's promise to Sora, because at the end right there, Riku obviously sacrifices himself to protect Sora, and he breaks his Keyblade, and he dies himself, and Sora kind of dies himself as well. And we go to the final world where there's a bunch of salt everywhere, which of course signifies his promise and stuff like that. And Riku said that he was going to make another promise wherever that will go, and whatever it'll be, we don't know. But I guess they're going to make that promise in the final world. It's a big representation of Riku's promise to Sora to protect him and all that stuff. That's pretty much the gist of it right there. And oh man, that's crazy. I mean, it does make sense though, doesn't it? You know, there's a lot of symbolism going on definitely in the final world. I'm just definitely trying to think about what it meant when I was playing that, because it felt like it did mean something. Well, this thing just kind of makes it all make sense for me, honestly. You know, it just makes sense in hindsight. This person obviously has a lot of smarts to them. Big shout out again to Blowing Off Steam 2 for being this smart about it and pointing this out. And it's just a really cool theory about it, connecting it to the rest of the Kingdom Hearts series right there, and it may connect to the future as well, since they said they were going to make another promise to Sora. And as we all know, Sora went into the sleeping realm trying to get Kairi and all that kind of stuff. I don't know exactly what happened at the end right there, because they showed that scene with Kairi and Sora disappearing at the end. I don't know exactly what's going on. That has something definitely to do with that, so we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. I'm excited to see what it's going to be though. But that's all I want to talk about with you guys in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this theory right here. Again, shout out to Blowing Off Steam 2. Check the link in the description. Check out the Tumblr post. Give it a like. Give it a share. I don't know how Tumblr works. Just check it out. It's really awesome. Tell me down in the comments below what you think about this right here. What do you think about this theory? Do you think it's right? Do you think it's not right? What do you think about this entire thing right here? What do you think that new promise will be if this turns out to be correct? Tell me down in the comments below your opinion. Also, make sure to subscribe and like this video and follow me on Twitter, because that'd be really awesome if you did. This has been K Central, and I will see you guys later.